r/AskReddit. What is the smartest thing you've ever done? We had a cricket here in the basement rec room of our house. It would chirp and make a racket, but we could not ducking locate it. Every time we got close it would stfoo, and we just couldn't find it. Annoying as duck. Anyway, I went outside with my phone and videotaped, just to capture the audio, about 30 seconds of some cricket chirping outside. Came inside. No idea if this would do anything. And set myself in the rec room. Close as I could to the cricket noises without, so close that the little blighter would stop his cacophonic mating cries. I played my bid/noise. And closed in. Sure enough. The little bastard. Upon hearing what was obviously anybody wanna duck. Anybody wanna duck. Anybody wanna duck in cricket language, sure enough the horny wee critter came out. He had been hiding in the folds of upholstery at the back of an armchair. I placed a cup over him, slid some paper underneath, and placed him in the backyard, where he had an actual chance to get laid, and where cricket noises are welcomed when sitting around a fire with a rear in hand. But not when you are indoors trying to watch sceneful episodes from your box set, or footy games from England. So yeah, that's it. Well, did the cricket get some fuck? I'd like to believe he did. Back when I used to smoke weed as a teenager, I did it in the kitchen. My parents were gone for the day, so I thought it would be fine. I could just air it out the whole day. Well, I get a call from them that they would be back in about 20 minutes. I got all the fans I could, but that didn't work at all. With 10 minutes left I had to think. What could I do? The best idea I've ever had happened. I took out a bag of popcorn and then put it in the microwave and burned that hit. The whole house smelled like burnt popcorn now instead of weed, which is nice because that would then explain why I had all the fans and the windows and doors open. Why did you forget about the popcorn in the microwave and let it burn? Because I was high as duck. This is his response in the other thread. What was the dumbest thing you've ever done? Went to nursing school at a community college. Graduated with $800 in debt. I took a 5-mile ambulance ride. Also $800 in debt. I rode as a passenger with my daughter and I'm now $1,200 in debt because I was made to sign a consent form instead of the refusal form I requested. Not really that smart, but I'm a room full of military higher-ups arguing about how far the human eye can see. Everyone was saying only a few miles. I just kind of raised my hand and was like, yo, how far away is the moon? And the room got pretty quiet. And then the discussion got really fun. Edit 1. I'm a goddamn room. The typo stays. I kind of want to start this argument to just say that, however. I know the first response would be how far away are stars? And it would be all downhill for me. Did you just argue with yourself? When I was 20 I declined to try heroin. My friend was doing heroin. One night I decided to give it a try. I thought, well, I've tried lots of things and never had a problem with it. Doesn't seem too bad. From that night on for a year and a half I did heroin. Got into a lot of debt. Then this new super cheap drug was available. Fentanyl. Struggled with that. After I OD'd and nearly died I quit cold turkey. Let me tell you, fentanyl withdrawal makes heroin withdrawal look like child's play. I'll be 1 year sober on February 20th. Very proud of that. Ducking, well done recovering. I'm currently recovering from alcoholism. I will make sure to send a thought your way on Tuesday. Started a 401k in my mid-20s. To add to this, one of the best pieces of advice I ever got was to increase your 401k contribution every time you get a raise. That is, if you get a 5% raise, up your 401k contribution by 1%. Do it before the raise even becomes effective. You'll still feel a 4% raise in your paycheck, but you'll never get used to the higher salary and never feel the hit of less take-home pay when you have to up the 401k later. Bonus points: living comfortably before the raise. Put the entire thing toward the 401k and you'll never feel a hit in income and can retire at 50, like the person who gave me this advice. Edit. There are a lot of people pointing out that there is a penalty for early withdrawal, and that's correct. I'm guessing I don't have the complete story. The person who told me this, an acquaintance of my former boss, so not someone I can ask follow-up questions to, just mentioned that he put all the money he got from raises toward his retirement. At 23. I assumed that meant he put it all into a 401k, and I decided I would do something similar. Keep in mind this was also a single guy with no wife/kids who lived well below the means of his high-paying engineering job. I always hear never put more than your company will match. If you want to increase your contribution, you should put it in an IRA. IDK if that's good or bad advice, so please correct me if I'm wrong. Went to a totally different hospital after the one my ob was at said my water didn't break twice in a week. So I went to the other hospital, right after being told it didn't. And that hospital admitted me, and I had my son 6 hours later, because they needed to induce me and pump antibiotics, because it was broken for a week. Some doctors shouldn't be doctors. She told me to do Kegels, and that I was probably just peeing. At 39 weeks pregnant. That's unbelievable. It's so easy to test for amniotic fluid. I'm glad you advocated for yourself. Right. The doctor who delivered me said my ob was a goddamn idiot. And I'm almost positive he got a hold of the practice to complain on my behalf. I started rock climbing. I graduated college. Didn't make any friends there. High school friends were all dispersed. I just randomly decided to go to a climbing gym nearby and met an awesome group of people. 4 years later I have some of the best friends of my life and have been on some great adventures. 10/10ths would recommend. I'm thinking about getting into rock climbing too, but none of my friends seem to want to try it. Don't you need someone to hold your rope though? Edit. Well, I can tell by the 1000 plus upvotes and 30 messages of encouraging words and advice that climbers indeed are extremely friendly. I'll see you guys on the wall. Bought 500 shares of Apple roughly 20 years ago. OMG, came back to this. So yeah, sold a bit of it after it split. Held for a long time and just split twice more. Sold a bit a while back when I thought it was finally topped out, and now a huge chunk is just gaining for my retirement. I have 4-year-old twin girls, so I figure they will spend it all. He got me invested in some kind of fruit company, and then I got a call from him saying, "We don't need to worry about money no more." I said, "That great. One less thing up." Stayed in school. I went part-time for 6 years while working and raising my 3 kids. It was really hard, but I stuck with it. And wouldn't you know, right when I was about to finally graduate, my then fiance developed a meth habit, drained our account, and disappeared. Left me penniless and without a car. I never could have made it on my own. We had been a team, I'd thought. My mom helped me with rides to finish my last 3 months of school. I made the dean's list and I was offered a job that paid 3 times what I was making while going to school. I accepted. I was completely spent financially, mentally, emotionally, and physically, but I made it. Another month and we would have been homeless. I thought of dropping out multiple times but pressed on. In the end it saved my family. Duck meth. Edit. Thank you all for your kind comments and support. You have made my morning. This all happened in just the last 7 months. I'm super proud of myself, but it's been so difficult. I'm not one to go on and on about my problems IRL, so I just pressed on. But I often felt so alone and discouraged. The dust has finally settled, so I'm just starting to look around and assess the damage. My work is not over. I needed this today. Thank you. This is incredible. I'm so glad you were able to make it through. Your children must be very proud of you. Thank you. They are. I graduated mid-year, so I don't walk until May. But when I do, they will be there. They kept me going. Uninstall League of Legends. You say this, and you might be joking, but I have actually never had a worse experience in a video game than when I played League of Legends. I had to stop playing when I wasn't even happy after winning. Like it would be a relief after a frustrating game most of the times. Quit smoking cigarettes. How did you do it? I'll stop in 2 weeks. Semester in college will start, and I want to quit altogether. Any tips would be appreciated. Edit. Holy shit. I wasn't expecting this amount of comments and tips. Thanks everyone. You surely helped a Redditor quit smoking 3. Quit today so you're not having extra stress when school starts. My wife is the smartest thing I have done, and I continue to keep doing. Totally agree. I love doing your smart wife. Refrigerator. It's snowing on Mount Fuji. I once put my socks on my radiator overnight, so they'd be warm when I put them on in the morning. Edit. Found a pair of socks. Lost my radiator. You do realize you can do it every night, right? I lost my socks. I was in the deepest pit of being down on life for months, and I made the decision to just do anything. I moved to a new country for a new adventure, and became a new man, living a new interesting life. I spent 4 years living in Spain as a result of the same kind of thing. I knew I needed to do something, or I'd never do anything. The change made all the difference. I moved back home recently, but I'm still glad I did it. What are you going to do now? I always wonder how people get back into their lives after coming back from an adventure. What kind of work do you want to get involved with? Purchased real estate in Vancouver 10 years ago. So, you're a millionaire now. Not until he sells and moves. Having $1 million in a city where the price of real estate is $1 million doesn't do anything for your standard of living. Having $1 million in a town where the price of real estate is $300k though, well that's a game changer.